Alright, let's talk about the Cosmic Arcade. This LEGO brick-built creation is built into 3 arcade machines, real ones as well. And now these minifigures have converted these arcade machines into a network of space stations. This creation is a part of Relics, A New World Rises, an exhibit that's on in Adelaide, Australia right now and features old discarded objects that have been converted into brilliant brick-built dioramas. The idea being that the minifigures are the ones that have built these things inside these old objects because they're the only ones left on Earth. Let's take a deep dive into these arcade machines and see all the cool details and fun LEGO techniques, shall we? We'll start off with the Space Invaders base. This section houses the fusion reactor that powers all 3 stations, and it also acts as a commercial hub where the minifigures can buy some wares and just have a fun time. And there's certainly plenty of different places for them to shop and visit. I think the lighting is what really makes this creation stand out. All these different flowing lights on the side, or the subtle pulses in them as well, it really does give off that fusion reactor vibe and really lets you know that this is a space-themed MOC. So if you're about to put lights on your own creation, it really can do so much and really set the scene. Suddenly this isn't just a static, dull scene, it comes to life and seems realistic. It's suddenly a living, breathing world. So the lighting just takes us up to another level. Also, this arcade has a very fun carpet, and you always see weird, wacky carpets in arcades, so the inclusion of magenta, black, and coral colors here in this arcade was a perfect way of capturing that. There's also a fun scene in the burger joint showcasing a dude who's probably having the worst day of his life as he drops his burger and has everyone laughing at him. But I love the burger sign at the top. Seeing this big obvious sign telling you that it's a burger store just works. And I love the fun detail of including this yellow tooth piece here on the side where the cheese layer is. Just kind of makes it pop a little bit more. It's nice. And going over to another store now, we have a tech store here. And I think this is a nice example of one piece making something way funnier because we've got a white banana on the wall for the logo of this tech shop. I'm sure you get the joke. And I don't know, I think humor like this, even if it is just a pun or something dumb, is always just perfect for LEGO creations. That kind of humor just seems so appropriate for LEGO. So it's good fun. So that's most of the top part of the arcade machine, but when we go down to the bottom, we can see our Hydroponics Garden. Here the minifigures are growing plants, and man, the pops of green up against this sea of white in this room just create such a lovely, colourful aesthetic. It's also fun seeing these banners at the back here which recreate the Classic Space logo, which you see on many of the old Classic Space sets, and even modern space sets these days. But this is being recreated with various pieces, including this sausage piece, this round yellow 2x2 tile, and a red clip as well, all that coming together there to recreate the Classic Space logo purely with pieces instead of some kind of like sticker or whatever. A fun way of doing that. Plus on the side of the walls we can see some of these 1x2x5 trans clear bricks, and inside of them we can see some of these green plastic bits. And now these pieces are a bit more of an obscure piece. They appear around these plant pieces here, and you can actually just sort of take them off. They're intended as a sort of way of protecting the piece so that when it's packaged in a LEGO set, it doesn't get damaged in any way. And you're kind of just meant to discard these pieces, but if you hang on to them, you can put them in here and do something crazy with them, but I've seen other people use them as vines and other different things. But regardless, seeing them put to good use here and cramming them into another piece like that really effectively creates some sort of wacky looking space plant. What a clever idea. And overall, there's a wonderful space vibe to this area, especially with some of these walls having these angled tile pieces here to give off these wonderful angles to the walls. It's just perfectly sci-fi. So cool. Now over to Gallagher Station, which houses the residential sector. It's great to see some red in this color scheme. It's so easy for space creations to become heavily grey and just look a bit dull, but having this strong bright color here, so good. It's good fun looking at the different vignettes and stories inside these different rooms. My favorite is this dude rocking out and then the lady below being a bit upset with the noise and hitting the broom on the top of the roof to get him to shut up. And actually also these window pieces have been used as like cockpits on Alien Conquest sets. That's where those came from specifically. But there's also some larger windows down the bottom here that have appeared on a LEGO movie set, for example, but they've appeared in a few other things. But the concept of using kind of cockpit pieces from spaceship sets and different things It's a nice idea to repurpose those here as strange curved windows, because the shape of them just fits right at home on a wacky space setting like this. I mentioned alien conquest before, and we can see an alien from this theme has been used here, and it's being chased down by these minifigures. So this is the specific alien conquest piece. It was meant to rest on top of minifigures and sort of mind control them, or I always thought they were like eating their faces. I guess it can be either one. But by adding this here and putting a few other random pieces around it, it's become more of a kind of cute alien pest that's running around, and yeah, it's a fun use of that piece. So a lot of fun things on Gallagher Station, but let's move over now to the Claw Machine launch pad, which hosts the hangar bays for the various spaceships here. The idea is the ships are parked on these racks, and then the Claw Machine, which has been repurposed by the minifigures into a crane, picks up these spaceships and then drops them down this chute into the hyperspace tunnels below, where they can exit out and they're free to explore. Let's actually linger a little bit longer on that hyperspace tunnel because it's awesome. The flashing lights give off this real sense of motion and makes it look like this spaceship is really flying along at a good speed. It's really cool. And it's actually a pretty simple way of doing it, just putting some trans clear bricks on the side and putting lights behind them, and it creates that effect. Really, really cool. Going back up top, we can see the spaceships parked, and again, there's some nice lighting here just under each ramp to spotlight the spaceships. It's nice to see how the tiniest little bit of light can also help a ton at just making these spaceships look even cooler. Sure, you can add in a bunch of lighting like we had down below, but I don't know, sometimes just a tiny little bit of light like that actually does a fair bit. There's also this stuffed bear, which was just a leftover bear from the Claw Machine that's been converted by the minifigures into this horrifying mech monster. I mean, hey, if you want to build Lego around a stuffed animal like this, there's no reason you can't, and there is actually official Lego stuffed animals. This isn't one of them, but if you want to be purist in that sense, I guess you can. But hey, this is cool in a scary, weird way, but it's a creative and clever idea. One detail I really enjoy on this build is this wall design here. We can see some of these angled support beams. Now, this is the piece that's been placed on the angle specifically. And I don't know, seeing this is a great reminder about the fact that you can place pieces on their side, upside down, or angle them like this. And when you do so, it opens up the door to so many great creative possibilities. And that's why everyone bangs out about the term SNOT, studs not on top. When you place pieces without the traditional method of just stud on top of stud, there's so many cool things you can do with it. And I think this specific part here just fits that space sci-fi vibe so very well. And it's just because it's placed on its side like that. Simple but effective. So hey, next time you're playing with your MOCs, don't forget to consider crazy weird angles like this and see what sort of stuff you can come up with. So that's it for the Cosmic Arcade. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the fun details here, and I actually didn't show off everything that these creations have to offer. There's plenty of other details that the team at Relics Exhibitions packed in, and if you want to see them all, it's worth checking these out in person. Plus, these just look way better in person. And you can actually see these in person over at Relics and New World Rises, a display that's on right now at the South Australia Museum in Adelaide, Australia. You guessed it. It's on until the 23rd of July, 2023. I'll have links in the description below with more info and also where you can grab your tickets. So check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.